Let us for a few moments concentrate at the heart center and focus attention on the divine consciousness and pray for peace and joy of the whole humanity. Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Stapakaya Jadamasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Avatar Varishtaya Ramakrishna Te Namah Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us pray to Sri Ramakrishna for bringing peace and joy to the whole humanity. Let us bow down to him, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God incarnate. Let all our ignorance be destroyed. Let us be able to discriminate properly what is real and what is unreal. Let us move onwards in spiritual path and attain our immortal nature. In the last class, we have dealt with important forces acting in the universe. One is magnetic force and electrical energy, and we talked about electromagnetism. We studied the properties of magnet, how it attracts the iron towards it. This analogy of magnet and iron was adopted to understand the attraction between the Supreme Soul and the individual soul. When we come to this level, that means when we are living our life in this world, we are definitely living amidst the reality of dualism. That means everything around us we are seeing, and this seems to be real. We see so many beings doing so many activities. That means we have to admit multiplicity of souls. So, but this truth that each soul is ever being attracted by the Supreme Soul. Individual soul means individual consciousness associated with the mind. Cosmic soul is the cosmic consciousness associated with cosmic mind. Though we all appear to be separate as individual beings, we are all inseparable at the source. Just like sun and its rays. Sun is there, the source of energy. Millions of rays are emanating from the sun. Millions. Each ray, it has got different illumination depending upon the strength of the ray. Each one shines in its own way. Though each ray emanating from the sun appears different, but at the source they are all one. That means in essence we are one and the same, though we appear to be many. That's the reality. Just like there are 25 candle lights, you lighted them by one candle, it became 25. One became 25. If you put off one candle out of 25, it becomes 24. But where did it go when you put off? The light energy went back to its source. So we are all behaving individually in this fashion on account of the form, on account of the container in which we are placed in. I am behaving in a particular fashion in this body. The other being behaves in a different way in the tiger's body, yet different way in the body of dog, and so on. Anyway, the important points which we should understand by this analogy, the magnet teaches that a natural and tremendous attraction exists between God and the beings. If the aspirant does not feel the attraction, it doesn't mean there is no the force of attraction. It is there, but it is blocked. How? The person who is not feeling the attraction of the divine needs to cleanse himself of the mud of Maya that covers the needle of his soul. Mud. As long as the thick layer of mud is blocking the iron, it cannot be attracted towards the magnet. So Sri Ramakrishna says, how to wash away the mud? Tears wash away the mud. Tears shed for God have a corrosive effect on the incrustations of the soul. No sooner is the mud washed away than does the magnet attract the needle. That is to say, the person realizes the divinity. Secondly, the magnetic needle in the compass counsels the aspirant to direct his mind under all circumstances to God. Sailing on the worldly ocean is seldom soothed. Sailing in the ocean is generally rough. Clouds of ignorance and worry cover the sky, and the winds of desires and difficulties furiously lash the waves. By keeping the needle of the mind pointing steadily towards the divine, the aspirant avoids all dangers and never loses the course. Thirdly, the submerged lodestone hill, which has a wrecking effect on a ship, points out the fact that as the aspirant approaches the Supreme Self, the deep-rooted impressions of lust, anger and greed are destroyed completely. That destruction is wrought by God Himself with the destruction of the whole negative impressions that are blocking his way. The aspirant becomes completely pure. Once he reaches that state, he is reaching the state of ecstasy. He, like the shattered ship, founders in the ocean. But the ocean in this case is God's immortal consciousness and bliss. Finally, from the process of magnetization, we can draw a lesson or two. One mode of magnetizing is to rub or stroke a bar of either iron or steel with a strong magnet. The ferrous bar becomes a magnet. Similarly, by constantly associating with the holy, we can also become holy and be devoted to God. Another way of magnetization is by induction. Magnetism can be produced when the piece of metal is laid parallel to a magnet or in the north-south position, as the earth itself is a huge magnet, and trapped gently a number of times. This is similar to the regular practice of japa, repetition of the divine name, and meditation. Steadfast spiritual practice, the magnet teaches, rouses the dormant divine love which draws the soul to the divine Lord. So much significance is there in this analogy, magnet and needle. Both are attracting towards one another. God is a magnet and the embodied being is a needle. When he becomes purified, he takes the position of magnet, God becomes the needle. The devotee doesn't have to run in search of God, God runs to him. That's the beauty. Well, that concludes our discussion on the topic in the last two classes. Today I take up another subject which is of very importance in our spiritual life. Of course, you are familiar with this topic. Just now I mentioned the association with the holy, we become holy too. So I am taking that subject today, holy association. Spiritual life starts with the holy company. Your character depends upon your association. If you are careful about your association, you can shape your life accordingly. Sri Ramakrishna declares, one cannot know the truth about God through science. Science gives us information only about things perceived by the senses, as for instance, this material mixed with that material gives such and such a result, and that material mixed with this material gives such and such a result. For this reason, one cannot comprehend spiritual things with his ordinary intelligence. To understand them, he must live in the company of holy persons. Then further, Sri Ramakrishna says in the Gospel, you learn to feel the pulse by living with a physician. So, he has given very prominent place for the holy company. He himself was the center of that attraction. When people would come, he would just make them come again and again. Whenever they were about to take leave of him, Sri Ramakrishna would say, come again. And he would tell it in such a way, as soon as a person reached the home, it would be ringing in his ears. Sri Ramakrishna called me to come again. Let me go again. That's the... So, tremendous importance is there for holy association. The general nature of a person is he wants to be associated with. You see, there are always exceptions. Out of 1 in 100 million may not like any association. He may love to live extremely secluded life. That you can hardly count them in the whole world. When we talk in a general way. That we should always remember. So, he wants companions. He wants to live in the society. He wants to be active in it. He wants to do something. He loves to be in the company of the people. Because man has been made so, he has been created so, God created man with the senses going outward. Eyes are looking outside, ears are hearing from the external sounds, mind is projected outside. So the whole being is projected outside. There's a famous passage in the Kathopanishad, Paranchikani Vitranat Swayambhus tasmat parang pashyati. It's a famous statement of the Upanishad. That's the meaning what I said just now. The senses are created to go externally. The natural tendency is to go external. Again, there's another important nature. We should study all these things. Then you will understand the significance of holy association, how it affects your personality, how it shapes your character. All this come one by one. Now man wants to share his thoughts. He wants to share his sorrows, his joys with others. Many times we find people come and talk. You just hear them, they are satisfied. They feel they are unburdened because they poured out all that was inside their mind, they got relieved. Sometimes he wants to share some good news that gives him happiness with another who is likely to appreciate his talents. Sometimes a man who hears it may envy also his success. In sorrow and disease, man really needs somebody who would be sympathetic to him, who would feel for him. For want of this succor, sometimes men have been seen to lose all faith in humanity and turn unfeeling, unappreciating brutes. They may even be driven to insanity or may become hardened criminals. So, association really keeps the health of a man or woman, whatever it is. So, history has a number of incidents to prove this. Association solves many problems. It has got very good effect. Now, psychological investigations show that even babies languish and die for want of sympathy and love. They instinctively feel, though their minds may not have developed to grasp intellectually what they feel, that they are not wanted. The very atmosphere perhaps becomes oppressive to them. This is not merely a conjecture, it can be inferred by our own experience in life. In our everyday life, we meet with such situations many times. You are invited to a party because you happen to be in some way related to the people. They have invited you, but in reality, they will be glad if you abstained from attending. You don't know it yet. You go to the function, immediately you regret your action, for you instinctively feel that you are an unwanted person there, though you came not uninvited. You have gone there on invitation only. Still, you feel that impression. You are not really wanted by them. Perhaps a dead silence of a minute or two at your entry in the otherwise happy atmosphere tells you that fact. Or something like it happened and you become aware of the true state of affairs. It may sometimes be suffocating for you and perhaps you wish you were not there at all. On the other hand, others at some other place would probably wish that you went to them even uninvited and felt yourself at home with them. Such instances show that atmosphere is not merely physical but something more. And this other atmosphere acts on the psychic being of man as the outer climate, and atmosphere acts on his body. The psychic being is very much there. He is influenced by the environment he lives in, by the company he associates with. So, it has been a universal experience all through the ages, all through climes and all throughout the world, that all people desire company, and that association influences them as sure as milk acted upon by acid transforms itself into yogurt. That being so, it behoves all to take good care of with what type of people you become associated with. So spiritual personages have emphasized the need of keeping holy company on all aspirants, particularly when you are sincerely seeking spiritual life. You must be very clear about your association. In ancient times, because I am speaking in the Indian context, the young ones would be sent to the home of the preceptor for learning. The children should live there till they learn from the teacher is completed. So they would study under him and imbibe his way of life as well. In that relation between the preceptor and the student, love and affection was the guiding principle. Harshness was only a semblance. The teacher bestowed upon his disciples as much affection as he showered on his own children. This period of life was one of austerity, of learning, of studentship, what we call in Sanskrit brahmacharya. Those who passed through the training could rise to every occasion in their future life. They had neither difficulty nor vacillation in facing the most trying circumstances with equanimity, for their feet were set on firm ground. This was the basic on which life was built in ancient days. People could survive all the severest challenges in their life. They would gladly accept the suffering, and their devotion to God would never be diminished at any point. And in this setup, holy company was a foregone conclusion. On account of various reasons, the ideal could not strictly be followed in later periods. Now that type of learning is no more there. It has taken a different shape and different ways. Children are getting educated in modern times. Yet the idea that holy company was a necessity of spiritual life was indisputably accepted by everyone. There's a famous Sanskrit saying, Satsangatve nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nishchalatatvam, nishchalatatve jivan mukti. The meaning is, first they talk about the holy company. With the benefit of holy company, what do you get? You get into a state of non-attachment. Non-attachment is a spiritual force. You do the things very efficiently, but you are not strained at all. There is no stress and strain in your doing the things. Why? Because there is no attachment. You do it as a selfless service. Whatever you do it in the name of God. Everything you offer it to God. With non-attachment, one goes beyond infatuation, and going beyond it, one grasps the steadfast truth, the ultimate reality. Attaining it, one is freed here while living. This is called Jivan Mukti. To have the experience of freedom while you are still in the body. Though you are in this body, you are well aware you are not this body, you are not this mind, you are completely separate from them, and you know that reality, so you are no more bothered about anything else. That means you will be in perpetual happiness and contentment. Many have attained this state of experience. There are instances when a touch or a glance from a holy person transforms one. Swami Vivekananda, the foremost disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, he said, spirituality is a thing that can be given like a flower or fruit by those who have realized God. That's what Sri Ramakrishna did. When Vivekananda asked him, have you seen God? Yes, I have seen God. Not only that, you can also see Him. Direct answer. So direct it was. And he is assuring him that he can also see God. Lord Christ, if you study His life, you find He took His foremost disciples, fishermen, and said, come and follow me and I shall make you fishers of men. And He really did so. Now there is an instance in the life of Sri Ramakrishna which I am taking in this context. There was a servant. When he came to Sri Ramakrishna, he was a boy, very young. He was working as a servant in Sri Ramakrishna's disciple devotee. Because Sri Ramakrishna's disciple was a devotee, and that devotee would invite Sri Ramakrishna many times to his home, and many times the devotee would come to meet Sri Ramakrishna. Whenever he would come, he would bring this servant with him. Anyway, he became in touch with Sri Ramakrishna. When he came in contact with Sri Ramakrishna, his whole life was transformed. It became one of the wonders of spiritual history. His name is Swami Adbhutananda. On the back side you have got the photos. From this side, left, second person is Swami Adbhutananda. What great heights of spiritual wisdom did he not scale? He had literally and truly no education, as it is generally considered at the present time. Because he had no formal education, he had no access to the scriptures, he can't read scriptures. Yet, as attested by his brother disciples and people who visited him later times, Words of wisdom flowed from his lips, from the lips of Swami Adbhutananda. He had direct access to the source of all knowledge. Coming in contact with Sri Ramakrishna, he directly came in touch with the source of knowledge. Such was the transformation that was produced by the company of Sri Ramakrishna. And that Swami became one of the important disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. How was it possible? Because he would come regularly to Sri Ramakrishna. He was constantly hearing what Sri Ramakrishna was telling to the disciples. And he became really devoted and got the realization in his very life. We shall continue this topic next Tuesday. So holy association has got tremendous effect. It has got tremendous effect. Particularly when you are trying to practice a higher life, it's very important. Thank you. Page 582. Master said, you have strong blood. Your case is different. The Divine Mother has placed me in the state of a child. One day I was bitten by something in the jungle. I had heard people say that in case of snake bite, the poison would come out if the snake bit again. So I put my hand in a hole and waited. A man passing by said to me, "What are you doing? You will get rid of the poison only if the snake bites again in the same place. You will not be cured if the snake bites another part of your body." I was told that the autumn dew was good. One day, while coming from Calcutta, I stuck my head out of the carriage and exposed it to the damp air. All love. To Mahendra of Sinti, Sri Ramakrishna said, "The Pandit from Sinti is very good. He holds a title for his scholarship. He respects me." I said to him, "You have read a great deal, but give up the vanity that you are a scholar." That made him very happy. I discussed Vedanta with him. To M, Sri Ramakrishna said, "That which is pure Atman is unattached. Maya or avidya is in it. In Maya, there are three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. These three gunas also exist in the pure Atman, but Atman itself is unattached. If you throw a blue pill into the fire, you will see a blue flame. If you throw a red pill, you will see a red flame. But fire itself has no color of its own. If you put a blue pill in water, the water will turn blue. Again, if you put alum in that water, it will regain its natural color." A butcher was carrying a load of meat when he touched Shankara, Acharya Shankara. Shankara exclaimed, "What? You have touched me?" The butcher replied, "Venerable sir, neither have you touched me, nor have I touched you. You are pure Atman, unattached." Jadabharata said the same thing to King Rahugan. The pure Atman is unattached, and one cannot see it. If salt is mixed with water, one cannot see the salt with the eyes. That which is the pure Atman is a great cause, the cause of the cause. The gross, the subtle, the causal, and the great cause. The five elements are gross, mind, buddhi, and ego are subtle. Prakriti, the primal energy, is the cause of all these. Brahman, pure Atman, is the cause of the cause. This pure Atman alone is our real nature. What is jnana? It is to know one's own self and keep the mind in it. It is to know the pure Atman. How long should a man perform his duties? As long as he identifies himself with the body. In other words, as long as he thinks he is the body. That's what the Gita says. To think of the body as the Atman is ajnana, ignorance. To the bearded Brahmo devotee from Shibipur, Sri Ramakrishna asked, "Are you a Brahmo?" Devotee answered, "Yes, sir." Master said smilingly, "I can recognize a worshipper of the formless by looking at his face and eyes. Please dive a little deeper. One does not get the gem by floating on the surface. As for myself, I accept all. The formless God and God with form." I shall stop. So there is tremendous attraction between God and all of us. That's the source of hope for us, because God is attracting us. So what we need to, what is the meaning of practicing? To remove the mud covering the mind. As long as the thick layer of mud is there, it has become a rock. Because we have not been able to clean the mind now and again, we have allowed the dirt to stay on, it has become rock. So how much time it requires to break the rock, and you have to apply so many methods. Even if necessary, may apply dynamite also, if it is so strong. That is the practice. Yours is only to do practice. The result will come by itself. Because Atman is in your own self. That light is there. It is blocked by this mind, by the impurities of the mind. Just in Vedanta, we always give the example of sun. Sun is there, bright, all the time it is bright. Immediately the weather becomes very gloomy, because the clouds have covered it. Once the clouds are dispersed, sun shines by itself. So the sun is always shining there. In the same way, Atma is always here, but because the ignorance is covered the mind, so we are suffering, because we don't know the reality. The moment you come to reality, all the suffering goes instantly. That's all. So, holy association, spiritual practice must be done regularly. Then only you will feel the benefit of the practices. We are not doing it, we should do it. What we are doing is not enough. We should do it more vigorously. So, it depends upon how you develop the spiritual qualities in yourself. That's the measurement. That's the indication how you are going towards the Supreme. That's the indication you are going in the right direction. It is not God sending you. You wanted to come in this body and you wanted to enjoy the world. So you came. Because you came, God is also coming with you. You are not separate from God. Because you are feeling that separation, so you are suffering. That's called ignorance. That's one way of looking at the thing. Another way is, you have come in this body not to waste your energy resources in doing idle things, but you have given this opportunity so that you can realize the reality in this life. So you have taken this body to work out. You need a mechanism, you need a thing, you need a tool to work for. So body is the tool. So first of all, a desire should come, why I am suffering, why there is so much suffering. What is the reason for that? How to go beyond this suffering? It starts like that. For whatever reason we have come in this state, we are suffering. Reason may be millions of reasons. We are not to be bothered about reasons now. There is no point in unnecessarily wasting time in finding out what happened, etc., etc. Try to get out of this suffering. Then you will understand everything. Getting out of suffering is important. To get out of suffering, you have to do practice. If you don't do practice, you will continue to be like this. God is not affected whether you do it or not do it. You are only affected because you are suffering and you are feeling terrible, miserably. You are awful. So you feel why I am in this stupid state. Why? Because you are not thinking of divine, because you have not shaped your character properly. So you are suffering. That's all. So doing and undoing both are in your hands. Both are in your hands. Holy people come, holy associates, they will help you. But you have to have that initial hankering to realize the truth. If that is there, then everything comes out well. And you will be able to sail through the rough season of the rough sea. Ocean is always rough, It's not easy sailing in the ocean. Life is like that. And because we are pulled outwardly in so many ways, naturally we are disturbed. So the disturbance is because of our type of activity which we are engaged in. That's all. God is always present. That is the way of Vedanta teaching. Vedanta always tells you the principle. See, your practice is to get rid of ignorance. How to get rid of darkness? Bring the light. Darkness go instantly. Like that. Aspire for knowledge, spiritual knowledge. Then constantly meditate on the spiritual ideas. Be in touch with holy association. Then you will see the result in yourself. That's the idea. Alright, we shall stop. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean, and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust, raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its curve to knowledge of thyself. O self, down deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is measuredness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass, be patient and forbearing like a tree, take no honor to thyself, give honor to all, chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Oh, how I long for the day when an instant separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years. When my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stealest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, May all countries be freed from calamity. May holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.